Good day each and everyone. I am Eliza Idris Filmin. Today I am going to discuss the teacher screening, teacher selection and placement, and teacher orientation. So now let's begin. Hiring a good teachers is very important task for any schools because teacher helps students learn and grow. The process starts with teacher screening, where the school checks each applicant education experience and teaching ability. The schools may give tests to see how much the applicant knows about the subject and how they can teach and whether they are emotionally and mentally ready to work with students and other staff. Only those who pass these tests are invited for interviews. After screening, the school moved to teacher selection and placement. This step involved choosing the best person for the job. Applicants go through one-on-one and panel interview where the school leaders and teacher ask questions and observe how the applicant communicates and behaves. After screening, the schools moved to teacher selection and placement. This step involved choosing the best person for the job. Applicants go through one-on-one and panel interviews where the school leaders and teacher ask questions and observe how the applicant communicates and behaves. The school may use the point system to rate each candidate based on education experience and personality. Another point or one who fits the school best is chosen to fill the positions. Once the teacher is selected, the school holds an orientation. So during this orientation, the new teacher learns about the school rules, surrounding community. They are also informed about their duties and what the school expects from them. This helps the new teacher feel welcome, understand the responsibilities, and adjust better to the new environment. Overall, the process of screening, selection, and orientation helps school find, prepare, and right teacher for their students. So now let's start with teacher screening or checking qualifications. So it means that screening helps schools identify the best applicant before hiring. So what the school check first? Of course, first the educational background like a degree in education. Second, teaching experience and other documents like resumes and CVs. Screening methods include first, written test, of course, to check the knowledge in the subject area. Second, psychological test, of course, to check mental health and how well the person works with others. Third, demo teaching or demonstration to see how they teach a class. And fourth, interviews to see if the applicant is a good fit. So there are usually three types of interviews. First, initial interviews with the HR director. Second, panel interviews with school leaders and teachers. And the last one, final interviews with the school president or board representatives. For example, after passing the demo teaching, an applicant is interviewed by a group that includes the principal and teachers from the same subject area. So next to that is the teacher selection and placement or choosing the best applicant. So after interviews, the school chooses the best person for the job. First, if only one person passed, meaning that person will be selected. On the other hand, if multiple people pass, it means that the school compares them again based on educational level, experience, personality, and attitude during the interviews, seminar, or training, certificate, or communication skills. A point system may be used to rate each applicant. Whoever gets the highest score is usually chosen. Example, two teachers pass the interview. One has a master's degree while other has better teaching demo and communication skills. The school uses a point system to decide who fits better. Full-time teacher should prioritize their main school. The writer also shared an important concern. Some full-time teachers work part-time on other schools and give more attention to this part-time job, especially if they pay more. So this is a problem because their main school stoppers or the classes may be neglected. Students in the main school don't get best teaching. For example, a full-time teacher at School of MSU Maguindanao also teacher part-time at USM Kabakan. So if they focus more on USM Kabakan because it pays better, the student in MSU Maguindanao won't get enough attention. So the school should remind full-time teachers that their main responsibility is these full-time schools, not these side jobs. Okay, so now let's proceed on teacher orientation. So this teacher orientation, it is the process of familiarizing a new hired teacher with the school's environment, policies, expectations, and people. It is a crucial first step to ensure that the teacher can adjust smoothly, understand the responsibilities, and become an effective members of the school community. So first, orientation to school policies and procedure, meaning to say, the Human Resource Director or HRD explains the rules and procedures that governs daily operation in the school such as attendance policies, grading system, disciplinary guidelines, and classroom management protocols. An example of this is the HR might explain how this file lesson plan weekly, how to handle students' absences, or how to report incidents of misbehavior. So next is the introduction to staff teaching and non-teaching. Of course, the new teacher is introduced to the school's team, fellow teachers, school heads, administrative, personal custodians, security guards, and others. This helps the teacher feel welcome and supported. For example, the teacher might be introduced to their grade level team or department. So meaning to say, the social studies department, and to the school secretary who assists with supplies and students' records. So next to that is the tour of the school building and facilities. Of course, the new teacher is guided around the school campus to become familiar with classrooms, offices, library, clinic, canteen, restroom, computer, laboratory, and emergency exits. For example, the teacher is shown how to use the faculty room, where to borrow books for students, and where to get materials for printing classroom resources. Next to that is the orientation to the student. Of course, the teacher is given a general profile of students such as their background, behavior patterns, language abilities, and special needs. This helps the teachers prepare appropriate teaching strategies. For example, if most students speak Filipino at home but are learning English, the teacher may be adjusted to simplify instructions and integrate more visuals. Next to that is the introduction to the school community and government agencies, meaning to say the teacher is made aware of neighborhood where the school is located, and it is informed to partnership with government offices such as Department of Education at DepEd, barangays officials, or health agencies. For example, the HRD may explain that the school regularly coordinates with the big during event, during calamities, or works with DepEd for compliance with learning standards. Lastly, the benefits of orientation, meaning to say, this orientation helps the teacher feel confident and supported. It reduces the confusion and allows the teachers to focus only teaching effectively. It allows or it also encourages a sense of belongingness and professionalism. For example, a newly hired teacher who has been warmly welcomed by the staff and it's clear on expectation is more likely to enjoy their work, maintain discipline in class, and stay with the school long term. So overall, teaching orientation is not just about rules, it's about building connections, confidence, and competence. A well-oriented teacher becomes a productive, happy, and valuable part of the school community. So that could be all. Thank you.